Hello, everybody. A very warm welcome to this virtual open event where I will present to you the BA in Public Relations at London College of Communication, University of the Arts, London. My name is Konstantinos Papas, and I am the course leader of the BA in PR. So, some things about me. My main research and teaching interests revolve around intercultural and global comms, political communication and public affairs, alongside persuasion as a main theme and topic of studying PR, propaganda and censorship. I come from a very vast background in the industry in sectors such as PR, journalism, and communication. And I have previously taught in universities in Greece, France, Turkey, and of course here, the UK. So, about our BA, the thing that defines us and kind of makes us stand out is that, first of all, we are the only BA in the UK that is exclusively focused on public relations. And second, PR sometimes it has an existential an identity issue, meaning that it stands should it stand on the communication side of things? Should it stand on the business side of things? That's why you will find that many of the times PR programs, courses, they belong generally to business schools. But this is our unique approach. The fact that we approach PR not only through the business perspective, but also through social and cultural perspectives. We are in an arts university, so this defines our approach. So, having said that, we have a digital first approach, so you get to develop your creative and critical and research skills, and the aim is to help you become the strategic, innovative, and ethical PR professional. You will consider publics and stakeholders that define the PR profession from all kinds of perspectives, such as sociological, cultural, and socio-psychological. Okay, together having in mind organizational communications through campaigns and PR communication plans, of course. We focus not only on social media and content creation, but also on strategic communication, media relations, reputation management, and of course, how to implement ethical, persuasive communication ideas that will drive social change because we believe that PR has the ability to drive social change for the better, for a better world. Let's have a look at the course. So the course spans in 3 years, okay, and we have, let's say, the year one, which is like the foundations. We build strong foundations, and I will explain to you in a multidisciplinary array of areas. In year two, we move on with developing our critical thinking so as to arrive at year three, where we have the development of research alongside employability skills. So, for our year one, what will you be taught about? First, we call each class, let's say each of areas that we teach, we call them units. So, unit one is Introduction to Public Relations. So, this is not just an introduction to what you will learn throughout the course, but you also start immediately with hands-on knowledge and skills on current trends in the PR industry, together with key theories that define public relations. We move on to Creative Foundations, a unit where you will develop your creative skills and you will experience the whole process from the creative idea to the creative output. We move on to a core PR unit, which is sustainable strategic communication. In this unit, you will examine all the aspects that define strategic communication process. You will know how to set business objectives, what are the societal forces and the cultural shifts that define each business, brand, or organization? And why is this sustainable? Because we take into consideration all aspects of sustainability, not just environmental sustainability, which is one of the UAL's core principles, but also sustainability that has to do with inclusivity, diversity, and equality in communication. This is your autumn term. Let's go to the second semester, which includes the spring term and the summer term. So during that term, you will have the media communications and culture unit, which talks about, explores the formation, transformation, and influence of communications and media industries on your profession. You'll have the unit which is called platforms and social media, where you have the ability to understand, to comprehend further platforms, social media, and through the lens of various socio-cultural perspectives, to finish with the media strategy, messaging, and influencing, which is a core and hands-on PR unit where you use industry briefs and you have to design a media strategy or for a brand or for a business that will involve not only media relations but also social media, influencer relations, and all these from a media strategy to form a media strategy for a PR campaign. Let's move on to our year two. Now here it's the critical thinking alongside many other skills that you and knowledge that you will gain. So we start our autumn term with professional industry practice. In this unit, you are invited to prepare yourselves for the career in the sector that you wish to, whether it is the media, the creative communications industry, the sector that you have in mind, and you are invited to reflect on your own interests, your own skills, and how these relate to employability. We move on to global media businesses, practices, and culture, another unit in year two autumn term. Here, you examine ways in which global communications are organized and what are the connections between business and cultural aspects of the media and the communication creative industries. Moving on to a core component of the PR profession, which is reputation management. In this unit, you will learn all the practicalities that should inform your process of building and maintaining reputation, together with assessing the risks and how to address issues that relate to the reputation of a brand, organization, or a business. Moving on to communication research methods. Here, you have hands-on experience on applicable theories that relate to your field. Not only you will get to explore relevant theories, but by the end of this unit, you will have to come up with a proposal for your research that will follow in your year three. The whole unit equips you with all the theoretical background that you need in order to move on with your research. And lastly, another core aspect of the PR professional process is persuasion and how this affects public opinion. So in this unit, you will learn how to employ in an ethical manner persuasive theories that will enable you to inform tactics that can change the human mind, that can bring positive change to society, and all this through practical and real life case studies and scenarios. To finish with your year two, you have in the spring and summer term, you have the possibility to choose one optional unit. This optional unit can either refer to content creation if you are more of a creative soul, or it can have to do with professional skills. So, from the content creation pool, you can choose either digital and web, film and video, or podcasting and audio. And from the professional skills, you have the choice between building brands, data and social media analysis, or influencer marketing communications. From all these choices, you can make one. Let's move on to our year three. In year three, final year, it's the research and employability skills. So, as I said earlier, the communication research methods unit prepare you for the research projects. So these two units, they are linked. And in the research project, you take on an independent research project in the area of PR that interests you more. You work, even though you have some on-site lectures and seminars, you embark on a supervision process. One supervisor will be allocated to you, and you will work on the topic that you have chosen with the aim to produce a research paper. Together, you have the final major project. It kind of resembles to the research project, but we approach this through the practical side of things, meaning that you have the chance here to develop even further your creative skill sets because you will engage in a live client brief, in a live project, where you will have to provide PR-focused solutions and build a pitch for your client. Together with final major project, you have the Creative Futures unit. Do you remember last year your professional industry practice where you explored your skills and who are you? Where would you like to work? So in the Creative Futures, which is also linked to that, you get to explore all the career options after graduation. And so you are kind of getting ready for the life after graduation. You identify your skills, your strengths, and your aptitudes, and you have to come up with a plan, a 12 to 18 month action plan, where this will be kind of like your guide to guide you through life after graduation and identify your next steps. Here, you have the ability, like in your previous year, to choose an optional unit, but this time it's a research informed and research based optional unit. Every year we have the following optional units that are in any case offered: critical sound cultures, futures thinking, information warfare, misinformation, conspiracy and extremism, and love in a digital age. And there are special topics also offered: comedy and satire in media and communications, community management, digital humanitarianism, food cultures, global indigenous media, and rhetoric, media, and political communication. Just to define that the optional unit and the research project, they run in autumn term. Final major project and creative futures, they run in spring and summer term. That's all with the classes, the units that you will have during your course. Having said that, your timetable will employ 3 days of your week. So 3 days per week you have on-site classes, lectures, seminars, etc. As you see, there is a great balance between theory and practice. As for the assessment methods, there are no exams throughout the 3 years, but you have assignments to submit, and those assignments they span across different nature and methods of assignment. So you can have either group presentations and creative pitches. You will have written reports or argumentative essays. You will have also communication and PR plans and campaigns. And lastly, you will have responses to client briefs. The PR course is a relatively small course, and we have around 30 to 35 students per year, which makes a great ratio of staff to students. So it's one member of staff for every 6 students. So who studies? Who comes to study BAPR? People that believe, people who believe in the power of communication. And not only that, the establishment, cultivation, and maintenance of human relationships. Also, people who believe in the power of PR, that PR is capable of driving social change for the greater good. Possible career paths that this course can lead to. You can work in a PR agency, meaning that you will have to deal with all kinds of clients. You can work as in-house. As we know, all brands, companies, organizations, they have the communications department, and the PR professional is kind of leading that department. So you can work also in-house. You can work in the third sector, like government or charity communication jobs. Or you can even go and establish your own PR agency or even work as a freelancer. Now, the sectors of PR that our students work span across everything. We have fashion PR professionals. We have luxury brands and products. There's government and political communication and PR professionals. We have charity, we have fintech, we have financial and investor relations, anything that has to do with PR, tourism PR, destination branding, food, entertainment, film, you name it. So, what would we expect students to bring to this course? Well, bring your creative mindset, okay, and your solution based thinking. Bring also your flair for social media content creation and how you interact with publics, or how do you see the interaction is happening with publics. And a PR professional, and consequently a PR student, has to have an open eye, let's say, for what is happening currently in the society. What are the current cultural shifts, the cultural trends happening in the world, and how can we work for the greater good, for a better world. This is our staff, our team. So let's start with Dr. Hati Mapudzi. She's a senior lecturer. She's a chartered public relations practitioner. She has experience in public relations, journalism, media. She is teaching reputation management, one of the core units of our course. Moving on to Dr. Shuhan Chen, she is a senior lecturer in media communications with a focus on PR. She is teaching sustainable strategic communication and research projects. Moving on to Lindsay Fox. Lindsay, she's a senior lecturer and she has a tremendous background in the industry, covering marketing generalists, in digital marketing communications, focusing on creating engaging content, and she has worked with several brands out there. Moving on to Dr. Ioanna Karagiorgou, she is a lecturer focusing on promotional communications. She has a business background and a PhD in influencer marketing. In our course, she is teaching professional industry practice, media strategy, and together with Hattie, they are teaching reputation management. Moving on to Dr. Felipe Soares. Felipe is a senior lecturer with a focus on social media and social media analytics, which means that PR students get to know how to impose practical skills, how to develop practical skills in monitoring social media and having research informed PR campaigns and communication plans. Moving on to Tony Snow. Tony is a lecturer with a direct experience from the industry, being the director of Snow Media Consulting, which is a PR and communications consultancy agency. He is teaching reputation management, crisis comms, and contributing also to strategic communication. Lastly, we have Dr. Joe Jackson. Joe focuses more on the creative aspects of things, meaning that he helps PR students to explore creative forms of digital storytelling, where this can be audiovisual strategies, design approaches, content, web-based content. All this, how do they nuance the communication that a PR professional can implement? So, we are an accredited course by the CIPR, the Chartered Institute of Public Relations. Also from the PRCA, Public Relations Communications Association. This is really important and it's for the benefit of students because they have a number of resources that they can have free access to and networking possibilities through these partnerships and accreditations that we have, and they will be receiving relevant news from time to time and also visits from those professional bodies to the school for some lectures, some master classes. Together, when it comes to collaboration, we have been running a very successful project called the Parolo Project. It is, we are one of the three main university partners. The BAPR of London College of Communication, University of the Arts London, is one university partner. We are partnering with University of Milano, IULM. We also have FAP University of Paris. So what is happening in Parolo project? Year 2 students, they are invited to work in international groups online on a specific client brief. And at the end of these interactions, those sessions, they get to spend every year 1 week, the final week, on one of the three university partners' place, where they work together with the international group on the client brief. They submit, they do their PR communications pitch, and there is an award. And at the end, the award is that the client, in fact, chooses you. Okay, so this gives not only a real life experience and industry experience, this also gives the ability to work at an international context, see how other students from other universities, how do they work? So you can imagine the richness of the process. Together with Parolo Project, of course, we run our exchange program. And the BAPR has a number of partnerships. So for autumn term, you can go and have one term studying either at Toronto Brussels, Rotterdam, or Paris. For spring term, you have the choices between Stuttgart and Copenhagen. Together with our permanent staff, we have, of course, associate lecturers, people with industry background that they give. Either they take on a whole unit or they come and they inform lectures and seminars with industry trends, or they provide guest lecturers, or lastly, they can be your supervisors for your final major project, as we said, as we saw earlier. So we have on board Ricardo Benzo, who is the founder of Managing Expectations, a vehicle for marketing research, consulting, and training. So Ricardo has experience and background in working in many countries, Italy, UK, Norway, and he has worked and delivered marketing programs for organizations including Fetcher Wines, Food Academy, British Telecom, Cruise Norway. And then we also have Maud Davies. Maud Davies, she's a PR trainer. She is a CIPR, Chartered Institute of Public Relations Fellow. So Maud, in fact, she is training PR professionals. So imagine the benefits of having her on board for our PR students. She is leading the CIPR professional certificate and foundation qualification courses with PR Academy. She has worked with many brands, with agencies and in-house communication professionals. Alongside our associate lecturers, we have a number of guest lecturers and industry speakers. We have CEOs of PR and communications and agencies. We have account executives. We have designers. We have insights consultant and research consultants. We have marketing communication managers. And you will see it's a very vast array of sectors in the PR and communication industry, meaning that it can be within music and entertainment, it can be in architecture, it can be in tourism, in consumer PR, anything that you can imagine, technology. So these people, they are a precious and valuable addition to what we offer to students, and we make sure that the content taught to our students is always informed by current industry trends. Lastly, so as to keep this constant connection to what's happening out there in the industry, we organize for our year three a special event, which is a speed dating session, let's say, with the industry. So students, they get to create a poster which represents their best work. Either it can be related to their final major project or anything that they feel the most proud of throughout their course of studies. And all the industry experts and professionals, they are invited for a session of networking. So the students, they get to talk directly, immediately, face to face to the industry experts, and they explore possibilities of job placements, internships. So, I mean, it's a win-win situation. And for our year one and year two students, we have what we call the skills boot camps. So these are not defined every year, pre-decided. We are preparing them according to the most recent trends. So what's happening out there in the PR industry? PR experts come and they provide master classes that help our students develop specific skills. For example, this year we will have a series of sessions dedicated on AI and how AI is used in the PR industry. As you see, all these events and actions, they help us maintain a very healthy relationship with what's happening out there in the industry. Here we have some graduate stories we have Ioana. Ioana, she is talking about her research project and her passion in the fintech industry and how this project, in fact, enabled her to have nowadays her own PR and communications consultancy agency and working as a freelance. On the other hand, we have Dominic. Dominic is talking here about his research project, which, by the way, received the award for Best Research Project on that year. And he is talking about how PR intersects with political communication and ethical representation on media, and how this interacts with even international relations and the formation of public opinion. The choice that you have also, once you complete your year two, is to, of course, throughout the year two, if you choose for the Diploma in Professional Studies, you have a series of sessions that where you explore professional opportunities, and instead of continuing with your year three, you in fact embark on a professional journey allowing you to have a hands-on experience of the industry. This is not a compulsory thing. This is an optional opportunity for those who want to enrich their studies with a year-round professional experience, making your studies, in fact, from 3 to 4 years. Also, there's the option to dedicate your year three in creative computing. Again, this is making your studies from 3 to 4 years, and you study at UAL's Creative Computing Institute. So, as a student showcase, you can have a look here at an assignment from last year's year two students for the unit Persuasion and Public Opinion, where the students, they showcase a very successful application of persuasive theories in order to change behavior towards the issue of carer-centric approaches to elderly online safety. So you see that how students, they have a very rich, informed base and background to what makes these people vulnerable and what do data say about the main dangers that this specific social group faces. So they map out the key attitudes and misconceptions, why this audience is important, and they target also that the first people that this persuasive communication plan should be addressed to is the carers of elder people. So if people are trying to scam elders through online or phone call scams, the carers are the first ones that they should have raised awareness about this and they should act. So students here, they implement in a very efficient and successful manner persuasive theories and general communication and PR theories in such a way that these theories inform actual communication tactics and actions that will bring a positive outcome in changing the behavior of the carers, of making the carers care more, let's say, about the specific topic. And the group, Adriana, Alex, Levi, and Naomi, they provided an extremely successful, real life, adaptable, and practical PR, persuasive communication tactics to tackle the specific issue. That was a very successful example of a student achievement. So, I assume if you are here watching this video until now, maybe you are thinking of applying. So, what will we need from you? We will need your personal statement. Why do you choose this course? And what is exciting about this subject? How does your previous or current study relate to the course? Do you have any work experience that might help you? Do you have any life experiences influenced by your decision to apply to this course? Do you have skills, and what kind of skills that you think make you perfect for this course? And what are your plans and ambitions for your future career? So, in your personal statement, in fact, you need to explain the reasons for choosing this course, your current creative practice, and how you think that the course will help you achieve your future plans, and if you have any relevant background, education, experience, especially if you don't have any formal academic qualifications. That's all. Thank you very much for watching this video, and hopefully see you soon.